is week 42 of these online videos. I'm Brenda, and today we're going to focus on glute strength. You're going to need a foam roller, a loop resistance band, and a peanut. If you don't have a peanut, this is a high density foam peanut, so it's very nice and light. We're going to work with this on the spine. If you don't have one of those, then I've placed 2 tennis balls inside the sock and securely fastened this knot right next to that second tennis ball. So there's not much movement because we need these tennis balls to be securely together so we can move with them on either side of the spine. The third thing you're going to need is a foam roller and obviously some water just to hydrate and plump up that fascial tissue. So the reason I've called today's session glute strength is because that's what I want to focus on. The glutes are part of our core, and they're made up of 3 different muscles: maximus, minimus, and medius. Glute, maximus, minimus, and medius. And those make up the biggest muscle group in the body. They are our hip stabilizers. So the stronger the glutes are, the better our balance is going to be, our stability. And as we age, we all know that aging slows us down a little bit like an injury. It sets us back a little bit. So the more we move and the more we focus on strengthening the glutes and the core area, the better the regression, the slower we're going to age, the less likelihood we have of injuring ourselves. So let's get started in standing and either taking the tennis balls or the peanut. We're going to position the lateral side of the foot into the center of the peanut. So you're slightly angling your foot. And what's nice about this position is the arch of the foot is resting on the one side of the ball or the peanut. And a little bit of a seesaw motion going forward and back. So really releasing the arch of the foot. So we naturally pronate. We walk from the heel to the big toe. That's how the movement in the foot is supposed to be. But sometimes if we have dropping of the arch, then we're going to rock more inward. And this can put a lot of strain on the knees and into the hips. So let's work a lot into the arch of the foot to really strengthen the arch of the foot. Keep moving forward and back. Put a nice amount of weight into that peanut or tennis ball. We're now going to position the center of the foot, so the big toe, into the center of the peanut and roll along the inside line of that foot. So still working a little bit into the arch. You're pushing back into the heel. So nice and slowly. Give it a good release there. Keep going. And as I've spoken many times before, just be aware of your breathing, be aware of your posture. Don't look down too much. See what's going on and then come back up, opening up across the chest, relaxing the shoulders, opening up around the diaphragm so we can breathe into the space we're creating. Now, just for the last few seconds, I want you to position your foot. Just play around with the position of your foot, wherever you feel you need the release the most, and roll forward and back. You might have the peanut under both sides of the foot, and just rolling forward and back. Good, let's reposition the peanut under the other foot. So let's start off with the lateral side, that little toe, onto the foot, or onto the peanut, the center of the peanut, and rocking the foot forward and back. Just get that motion going. So you're really releasing into the arch of the foot and the lateral line. And again, focus on that breathing, relaxing the shoulders and opening up across the chest. A few more seconds to go. Just give it a nice release, rocking forward and back. Let's move the inside of the foot, so that big toe into the center, and roll forward and back. Good, and a few more seconds. And now position the foot into what you feel is the most beneficial position and roll to the heel. So we're going to work a little bit now into the back line of the body. So around the ankle and up the calf. Again, a few more seconds. Are you breathing in and out through the nose? Focus more on that exhalation. And release. Taking the peanut again, all your tennis balls, and I want you to come into a seated position. Extend your leg out in front of you. You can bend the other knee, and pointing and flexing. So a little bit of movement from the peanut up the back of the heel. And then you're going to draw a nice big circle with the toes. Again, position the peanut a little bit higher if you need to, if you're feeling more benefit there. And change direction. The other thing you can do is lift yourself up, so you're putting more weight into the peanut. Then you'll get a little bit deeper into that release. Good. From there, position the peanut up the calf, and I want you to move from your extended leg, the hip on that extended leg. So roll out. We're going to need to move in increments. So just moving again. The other option is to lift up if you want to put a little bit more weight into the peanut and get a little bit deeper into that release. If you're sitting, it's a nice release for that hip as well. So imagine someone's pulling your foot away and you're extending right out of that hip, pushing out. Position the peanut a little bit higher and continue the same movement. If you're taking strain more on the lateral side of the leg, I want you to turn the toes out. If you're taking more strain on the inside, turn the toes in slightly. So again, you can play around with the position of the peanut where you feel it benefits you most. Let's move it up again. So it's just below the knee now. And roll out. Now, taking the peanut, I want you to position one ball of the peanut or the tennis ball right behind the knee. And again, so it's just a movement from the hip. This time you're going to sit down and roll over the back of the knee. So that muscle there called the popliteus, you want to get a little bit deeper into that release. And again, you can turn the toes out and rotate or move up and down, or you can rotate in more into the inside of that knee. So play around with the position of the peanut. Good, nice and slowly get into that release. Let's do the same thing to the other side. So we're going to take the peanut or the balls under the ankle, and let's start off with the point and flex, and then so you can sit up nice and tall or sit into that movement, point and flex, point and flex. And when you're ready, you can draw that circle. And you're going to change direction. So rather than speeding up the movement, focus on a nice big movement there. And now we're going to reposition the peanut up the ankle and sitting tall, or you're sitting on the tailbone. So you're slightly lifting this tailbone up, and or this buttock, should I say, and lift, moving forward from the hip. Come up if you want to, putting a little bit more weight into the peanut. Turn out and turn in, so you can move that foot around and release that calf, as well as a little bit into the deep core line or that lateral line. Get that movement right from the hip. We want to focus. We don't isolate, we want to focus on the different lines. So what we do here will affect further up the line. So getting as much release as possible. From there, let's position it. Again, play around with the position of the peanut. Turn out, move the ball of the peanut under the back of the knee, and then turn in. So play around with where you need it the most, and then massage forward and back, forward and back. You can just relax the foot in this movement. Good, and from there, just put the peanut to one side, have a quick drink of water. We're now going to move on to the shoulder blades with the roller. So let's take the head into the hands. The head should be nice and relaxed, open up across the chest, and we're going to roll over those shoulder blades. So just watch my position. I'm not tucking under here, I'm nice and open. So you've got that space. I want you to breathe into that space. And again, you're focusing more on that exhalation. Let's rock over to one side. So I want you to bring the elbows together and rock onto one shoulder blade and roll over that shoulder blade. So we're getting a little bit deeper into that release. Let's now move on to our side, and you're going to continue just rolling. Let's rock forward and back now. You're opening up. Now I want you to find, breathing in here, I want you to look for that trigger point. My trigger point slightly in that open position. Bring the feet flat again and then just massage up and down. Move yourself right over into that armpit, and I want you to move a little bit forward and back. So you're coming right forward onto the pectoral muscles. Massage there. You can release the top hand and bring it onto the roller and get forward, go forward and back. Open up again. Now you can bring the hand back behind the head and then just a little rocking motion forward and back. Now you can keep the knees or the legs lying at on the diagonal and a little bit of rocking forward and back. Move again, let's rotate one more time and a little bit of rocking forward and back. Bring the hand onto the roller and move around into the front, into the pectoral muscles in the front of the shoulder. Good, and let's release it. We're going to go over to the other side. So let's start off on both shoulder blades, and then we'll take the weight into the one you haven't released yet. So again, link the fingers, make sure the head is resting in the hands, and you're nice and open over the diaphragm, so you're breathing into that open space. Now when you're ready, bring the elbows together and rock onto the shoulder blade you haven't released yet. You can bring the knees together and the feet slightly closer together. And now we're moving right around into that open position. Position yourself there and stay nice and open. Keep the feet flat to start, and then we'll drop down onto the lateral side. Good, let's drop down now and just continue that small release, rocking up and down. Now you can move forward onto the pectoral muscles, so you can take that top hand and hold onto the roller and rock forward. Find that trigger point, spend a little bit of time on that spot. Let's open up again. You're breathing into that space, I hope. Rock yourself forward when you're ready. And a little bit more into those pectoral muscles there. Good. Let's now position the head onto the peanut, or should I say the neck onto the peanut. So put the roller close, keep the roller close by because we're going to use it in a minute. Take the peanut or the tennis balls, I'll use the tennis balls too, and bring them right in line with the ears, just at the base of the ears. Hold onto the peanut or the tennis ball and shear from side to side. So you're maintaining contact with the two tennis balls or the peanut, and you're shearing from side to side. So you're sliding the bony process, that occiput ridge, from side to side. So it should be quite a nice release. Just continue for a few more seconds. Focusing on your breathing. Release the peanut or the tennis balls and rock yourself into a seated position. We are going to continue with the peanut or the tennis balls, and I want you to position it so it's going to be on either side of the spine, not at the base of the shoulder blades, but where the rhomboids are. You have the rhomboid major and the rhomboid minor below the rhomboid major. We want to position it between those two muscles on either side of the spine. So you've got two options here. I want you either to bring your head onto the roller if it's very sensitive here and you've got a lot of trigger points around this area. You can put your head onto the foam roller. So you're putting less weight into the peanut there. And we're going to breathe in now and breathe out. So if you see the movement, a nice deep breath in, arch, and as you breathe out, you're going into that tuck position. So this is your first option. Breathing in, the peanut rolls up, and as you breathe out, push the rib cage down, tuck under, and scoop the belly in. Your second option is to put more weight into the peanut or the tennis balls, and you're breathing in and you're breathing out. That will get a little bit deeper into the rhomboid release. Nice deep breath in and breathe out. Now those rhomboids are those muscles that retract the shoulder blades and open us up across the chest. So we really want to keep them activated. So it keeps us in that nice open postural position. Breathe out and tuck. If this is your option, keep your head on the roller and breathe out and tuck. If it's very sore, all you have to do is hold this peanut on the spot and breathe into the peanut. And that will help release those muscles on either side of the spine. Breathe in and arch. Breathe out and tuck. Let's do another 2. Breathe out and tuck. And one more. Nice deep breath in. And breathe out and tuck. Rock yourself into a seated position. Now we're going to bring the peanut onto the rhomboid major and rhomboid minor on one side of the spine. So again, you can take your foam roller and bring your head onto your foam roller. So give you 2 options. Position that peanut. You might need to adjust it once or twice. It's not a comfortable position to be in. But make sure the head is nice and supported so you're not taking any strain in the neck. And let's take the same arm the peanut is under, and I want you to bring it onto the opposite shoulder, that hand, and you can hold on there and you're going to rock from side to side. So I think we should all stick with this option. Resting the head on the roller and massage that peanut from center towards that arm that's wrapped across the body. Rock that peanut from side to side. Reposition it if you need to. And rock. Keep the breathing going and feel how the breathing helps improves that release. Gets a little bit deeper into that release. You might find your breath is taken away because it's a very sensitive spot. So again, even if you're just holding it on that spot, find the spot that you need to release the most. You'll probably feel some nerves into the shoulder, and then just hold it there and focus on your breathing. Breathing creates movement. Let's reposition the peanut or the tennis balls onto the other side of the spine. Take that hand and bring it onto the shoulder. Use the opposite hand to support the elbow. And again, just make sure you're in the right spot. And rock side back to center. Play around with the position of the foam roller. So focus on the breathing. Hold it there, even if it's just a hold and a breath. Nice and slowly from side to center. Keep going. Let's do another 2. And another 1. Good. Coming off the peanut, rock yourself to a seated position. Have a quick drink of water. Come back onto your back. We're going to now position the peanut onto either side of the spine at the base. So it's in the, we have 2 dimples on either side of the spine. That's in line with the hip bones. So that's where I want you to position the peanut. Bring the head into the hands if you want to, or you can support the neck. By putting a towel under the head. Hands under the head or a sweat towel. And we're breathing into that arch position. Breathe out and tuck. So again, we're working with the fascial tissue. So there are about 10 times more neural pathways in that fascial tissue. So it's a sensitive area. So if you're taking strain, I just want you to hold the position and breathe into that open position. So drop the tailbone onto the mat. Now you're nice and open around the diaphragm. And the movement will follow the breath. And breathe out if you can. Tuck into that position if you can. Pushing the rib cage down. And again, a nice deep breath in, arch. Breathe out into that tuck position. Let's keep going. Nice deep breath in, arch. And breathe out into that tuck. 4 to go. Nice deep breath in. And breathe out. 3 more. And breathe out. 2 more. And breathe out. And the last one. And breathe out. Focus on the exhalation, exhalation, exhalation. Release the peanut, so thrust yourself up, roll down, and hug the knees. We're going to just work into the knees, the back of the knees, and the front of the legs, and on those quads. So here I want you to release, so again, as we did in sitting, we're releasing that popliteus muscle behind the knee and the plantar fascia in the arch of the foot. So let's curl the toes under, push into the balls of the feet. So you can keep the hands on the mat if it's quite a tender spot. Otherwise, you can come up, hands on the hips, and bounce back into this release. So hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch in the arch of the foot and in the back of the knee. Good. Another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And release it. Let's do the same thing to the other side. So position that peanut right behind the knee, and it's one ball of the peanut. or the tennis ball, one tennis ball. And curling the toes under, so you're pushing into the balls of the feet and releasing the arches of the foot, especially on the one where the peanut or the tennis balls are, and bounce your bum back to the heels. You can add a little bit of a wiggle from side to side, pushing into that release. Good, let's take the peanut or the tennis balls onto the front of the leg. So you're lying down, come onto the elbows, curl the toes under on the supporting leg, and I want you to roll. Again, we're going to need to do it in increments, so move up and down. While you're doing this, if you're getting deep enough, continue with this release. Otherwise, a little bit deeper into the release, you can kick the heel to the tailbone and give that area a little bit more of a stretch. Move yourself back and continue with that kicking motion. Even if you're just holding it on that spot and kicking the heel to the tailbone, move down. Continue moving down and the peanut coming up to the hip. And move it up a little bit higher. If you need to take a break, just push it into that spot and hold it and rock forward and back, and again add that kicking motion to the tailbone. Let's now position, so we're still working on the same side. I want you to position the peanut on either side of the hip bone. And you're still on the elbows, you're curling the toes under. And you're going to relax that foot. Just keep the supporting toes curled under and massage up and down on either side of that hip bone. So you should feel a nice release in the hip flexor running down the front of the leg. Let's position the peanut now. You're underneath the belly button and onto the pubic bone. So before we go onto the other side to release it, you're going to release the diaphragm and that a Caesar scar, any appendix, any surgery or scarring that you have, this is a nice one to release that, as well as releasing the diaphragm, which sits around this area. So I want you can just relax, keep the knees and the shins on the mat, and you're going to wiggle the hips from side to side. Quite a few organs around this area. Obviously the colon runs up and around, so you're not going to feel much of that, but again, focus on the breathing and a nice light pressure there. But the peanut does get a little bit deeper than the foam roller. Let's move on to the other leg and position the peanut just above the knee. Curl the supporting toes under and rolling up and down. Start that movement if you want to with the kicking motion, heel to the tailbone. Move yourself back so the peanut's coming higher up the leg, or just adjust it manually and continue that kicking motion. Move it up again. One more time, take it right up to the hip. Now, staying on the front, position the peanut on either side of that hip bone, curling both toes, both feet under, the toes under, and massaging up and down. Keep going. Massage forward and back, going up, moving that peanut up and down. Coming back onto your hands and knees, we're now going to come into a knee box position. Maybe have a quick drink of water. This will help draining the lymph, get rid of any toxins. So come into a seated position first. Let's release the glutes. So the peanut is now parallel to the spine, and you're going to sit on the peanut and massage from side to side. So we're going to work a lot into the glutes now with the resistance band, the loop resistance band. So give them a nice release there. Move right into the lateral side so you can drop that knee out. Back from the center all the way to that lateral side. If you find that trigger point, bounce that knee out. There'll be a little bit of movement from that peanut. Open up. Good, let's position the peanut onto the other side, onto those buttocks, and massage from side to side. When you're ready, if you want to work a little bit more into that lateral side, drop the knee and rock it. And you can add that bouncing motion, just a small release. Good. Coming into a seated position again off the peanut. Now your knee box position. So the legs are at 90 degrees and we're going to put the peanut onto the deep core line. So on the back leg along the inside of that shin. And you're going to roll forward and back. Try to get that peanut right up to the knee. So adjust the peanut as you need to. They do have a tendency to move around, so just keep adjusting it if you need to. We're going to move over to the other side. So knee box, take the peanut into the center of that shin and roll forward and back. Sitting nice and tall, being aware of of your breathing, being aware of your posture will really help improve it. And as we release that deep core line, feel how much easier your breathing does become. We're now going to move, you can put the peanut to the side, we're now going to release the inner thighs. So bring the roller onto, we did this last week as well, bring the roller onto the inner thigh, onto the knee, and open up the supporting leg as wide as possible. Now just to get started, I want you to start right on the knee. Drop your foot and you're going to lengthen and extend that leg. Keep going, 4 more, and 3, and 2. Hold it in the extended position, and now roll in that lengthened position. So you'll give it a little bit more stretch when the leg is extended. If it's a very sensitive area and there's any discomfort, I want you to try and work through it. If any pain, keep the knee bent, and you won't put as much resistance or weight into the foam roller, so it'll be a little bit easier on that deep core line. If you want to hold the leg in the extended position, lengthen out and roll along the inner thigh. Continue bending the knee if there's any tension, if there's too much tension there. Come right into that groin there. And now I want you to bend the knee and bring the foam roller right into the groin. And you're going to massage there. So we're massaging, we did the pubic bone with the peanut from the top. We're massaging the pubic bone from the side. So any jewels you have, make sure they're tucked away from this side of the release. Let's release it, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So position yourself so the knee is on the foam roller, and we're going to come into that bend and extend. Are you breathing? See how the breathing changes. Hold it in that extended position and massage out. If you want to keep the knee bent, you can do that. You'll get a good release. Now start making the movement bigger. Keep the leg extended if you want to. If you need to reposition the roller, do so. Bring it right into the groin there and bend the knee. And let's move on to the pubic bone and just a small rocking motion from side to side. And release. Good. From there you can put the foam roller to the side, and we're now going to take the resistance band, maybe have a quick drink of water, and then we'll move on. Bring the resistance band around the big toes. Open up the feet. So I want you to spread the toes out. You're going to lower it down onto your back. Keep your feet as close to your bum as possible so you can work more into the glutes. If your feet are further away, you're going to work more into the hamstrings. So I want you to keep your feet close and spread the toes out. Open up the feet. Now we're going to breathe into our arch position. You're going to breathe out and tuck. And as you tuck, you're scooping the belly in and tucking the tailbone, pushing the diaphragm, while releasing the breath, and the diaphragm is coming up, but the rib cage is going down. Breathe in. Now the lungs are pushing the diaphragm down, and we're holding it up here. So I want you to be aware of your toes, especially your big toes. Keep them spread out, and we're going to hold it here, and we're going to bounce into this lifted position. Most important thing is to keep breathing, and the glutes are engaged, so we're working those core muscles there. We're going to stay up here for a minute, and we're going to bounce. Be aware of your breathing. Focus on the exhalation. Keep going. You 30 seconds in, 30 seconds to go. Keep the tailbone lifted and bounce. Ten seconds to go. One last deep breath in and roll down through the spine. Let's hug the knees into the chest. You should have felt those glutes working nicely. We're now going to bring the band above the knees. We're going to rock up into a seated position, and we're going to work on hands and knees again. We're going to take the hands in front of the knees, so a little bit further away, curl the toes under. We're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to tuck into that rounded position, hover the knees just off the mat, and we're going to bounce for 2, 3, and 4. Drop the knees. Take a nice deep breath in. Let's uncurl the toes now. As you breathe out, scoop the belly in and tuck, curl the toes under, lift up off the knees and bounce. For 2, you're exhaling, 3 and 4, drop the knees, uncurl and breathe in again. Breathing out, tuck and round, exhale, 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 curl the toes, bounce, still exhaling, 3 and 4, drop the knees. Let's release it and breathe in. And breathe out, tuck and round. Curl the toes, lift up, exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Drop the knees. We're going to do one more. A nice deep breath in. Open up an arch. As you breathe out, tuck and round, chin to the chest, curl under, curl the toes, and bounce. For 2, 3, and 4. Walk your hands back to your feet and breathing in, uncurl through the spine. We're now going to work into a few squats. Take your feet as wide as the mat and turn your heels very slightly in. We're now going to push the knees out as we go into that squat position, breathing in there. As you breathe out, I want you to come up into that lift. Breathe in, reach the arms forward, and breathing out. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Again, a nice deep breath in. And breathing out. Don't let the knees fall in. We want to push against the resistance band and really feel the feet working in this squat position. Breathing in and breathing out. We keep going. Nice deep breath in And exhale, 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 exhale. Focus on that exhalation. Keep going. We're going to do another 5. And breathe out. And 4. And breathe out. Be aware of your posture, looking ahead and breathing out. We're going to do 3 more. Nice deep breath in and breathing out. Another 2. Nice deep breath in and breathing out. The last one, we're going to hold it in that squat position and pulse the knees out. Feel the feet working for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release. Breathe in and uncurl. Taking the band, we're going to now bring it back around the big toes. And you're going to stand with your feet nice and wide, so there's a nice amount of resistance in the band. Now earlier we focused on releasing the calf muscles, so hopefully you'll feel those calves now and working a lot into the core, into the glutes. Starting with the feet apart, we're going to just bounce off the heels. So you're maintaining the resistance in the band and spreading the toes out. So we're focusing again on the feet. A lot of importance in the feet. I want you to lean into one side. So you're keeping that heel slightly lifted, but bouncing off. So putting more weight into one side. Come back to the center and bounce, bounce. Lean into the other side and bounce. Bounce off those heels. Good. Keep going. Lean to the center. And bounce into one side. Now we're going to hold a little bit longer into the side. Bounce. 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 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the center. Holding it for 30 seconds. Keep going. Are you breathing? Don't hold your breath. 10 seconds to go. Those calves should be feeling it. Those glutes should be feeling it. The knees are locked, so you're using those core muscles, leaning into the other side for 30 seconds. 15 seconds to go. Relax the upper body. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep moving. So I want you to rock each heel off the mat. You're rocking from side to side, making sure the glutes are nice and firm. Engage those glutes. Rock yourself from side to side. Feel the feet working. Feel it. Look at the toes. See how nice and wide they are. Spread them out. Keep going. Are you breathing? What's happening with your posture? Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing the arms. Keep going. You've got another 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Keep the band where it is. Come into a seated position and extending the legs out in front of you. Open the feet up. And we're going to work into a rotation with the feet. So you should feel the lateral side of the legs working, the glutes are working, And you should feel the arches of the feet engaging as well. So just a nice slow rotation out. Good. Pulsing those legs out, out. Each time you open up that band, try and rotate that little bit further. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, and 1. Hold it in the rotation and just bounce it out from there. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And release the band. Finishing off, I'd like you to double up your mat just to give your knees a little bit of cushioning. So I'm going to turn myself to the side so you can see my position. If anyone's taking strain in the knees, keep the feet pointed back. Otherwise, I want you to turn the feet out. So the knees and the ankles are in line. We're going to bring the hands in front. We're going to breathe into the arch position. So here, thinking rhomboids, squeezing them together. As you breathe out, I want you to squeeze the inner thighs together. You're going to bring your hands onto your, just above your knees, and you're going to bounce for 2, 3, 4. So we're engaging those deep core line muscles, the inner thighs, and the glutes should feel it. We're going to breathe in, arch. So here, breathing in, then you're focusing on that exhalation as you squeeze the inner thighs together and bounce. Drop down again, a nice deep breath in. Open up and arch. Breathe out into that tuck position. Bounce. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Drop down. Breathing in. Open up and arch. Breathe out into that tuck position. And bounce. Still exhaling. 3 and 4. Drop down. Breathing in. Open up, open up, open up. Breathe out into that tuck. And hands onto the thighs and bounce. 3 and 4. Good. Keep going. We're going to do another 4. Nice deep breath in, arch. As you breathe out, squeeze those inner thighs together. Hands onto the thighs and bounce for 2. Keep exhaling. 3 and 4. 3 to go. Nice deep breath in. Open up and arch. As you breathe out, tuck and round. And bounce. 2, 3, 4. Drop down. 2 more. Breathing in. Open up. Breathe out into that rounded position. The more you use your head, the more you're going to feel those core muscles. 2, 3, and 4. For the last one, a nice deep breath in. Open up and arch. As you breathe out, squeeze the glutes, tuck under, and bounce for 2 and 3 and 4. Good. Uncross the feet, or turn the feet in. Have a quick drink of water. Let's open up the mats and lengthen out onto your back. Reach the arms next to the ears and extend the legs out. Have a nice big yawn and stretch everything out. Reach the arms out to the side. Hug your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. Open up the arms again. Bring the knees over the hips. And rock the knees to one side as you look over the opposite shoulder. Good, let's lift the knees and drop them over to the other side. Look over the opposite shoulder. Come back to the center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Bring the hands behind the head. And I want you to pinch your mat between your shoulder blades. Squeeze the mat between your glutes. and breathing in. As you breathe out, just relax. And again, stretch everything out, lengthen. Rock around onto your abs. And I want you to bring the hands next to the chest. Relax the feet. A nice deep breath in, squeezing the glutes. Don't come up too high. If any strain in the lower back, just come onto the elbows. Otherwise, all the way up, giving the front line of the body a nice stretch. Look over the shoulders. Good. Drop the chest down, curl the toes under, chin to your chest. Tuck yourself and lift up into a plank position. And hold that plank position. Push back into a down dog and walk your hands to your feet. Relax your chest. Relax and bounce from side to side. Taking a nice deep breath into the center. Uncurl through the spine. Circle the shoulders up and back. And shake everything out. Well done, and thank you for joining me.